Hi everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS. In today's lecture, we'll continue the Aarambh series. Here in this lecture, we will discuss the ancient Indian history where the rise of Jainism and Buddhism will be covered with you. And I'll also discuss the downfall, why it got declined, why Buddhism is nowhere in India today, but it is so much spreaded across the world. What is the reason and how it happened? So let's begin with the idea of 6th century BC, because when you know what happened in the 6th century BC, then only you will understand that why the rise of Jainism and Buddhism got started in India. So first of all, if I talk about this time period of 6th century BC, it's a time when everything is getting transformed, everything is developing, everything is getting changed. Okay, and religion is something which is very personal. Okay, it is very personal. It is something which you feel, which you believe, your faith, your ideas. And if it is not fulfilling your desires, if it is not fulfilling your happiness needs, if it is not making you happier and peaceful, then it is of no use at all. Okay, so whatever was problematic for the people, they used to find the answers in the religion. And we even today we do it. Have you seen people, they go very spiritual after a certain stage of life when they face a lot of problems, and they try to get the ideas and answers from the religion. They ask their gurus, their teachers, guides, so that they understand the life, so that they understand why they are in the problem and how to come out of the problem. Okay, so what kind of problems were there in the society? If you will understand the problems, then only you will understand why the religion got there. Okay, why the new religions got established, because we already had a religion in India. Hinduism or the Brahminical tradition was already going on. It was so powerful, but still it had many limitations, it had many drawbacks, due to which few of the people from the lower caste community and from the Vaishyas Varna, who wanted to be more egalitarian in nature, they wanted to have a new religion. They started searching for it. Okay, and necessity is the mother of invention, right? So yes, the necessity was there. What kind of necessities were there, that we need to understand first, then you will understand the rise of Jainism and Buddhism accordingly. I hope I'm clear. Is there any doubt from the last class? Please let me know quickly, guys. Fine. I hope I'm audible and visible to you clearly. Good evening everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Please like the video, please like and share as soon as possible. Okay, now first of all, we will understand the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. As I told you, the society was evolving now. A new stage of social development happened in India. Why it happened in 6th century? Why? Because this is the time when Mahajanpads got developed, right? So the time period of 6th century BC, it is the development of Mahajanpads. So Mahajanpad means what? Big, you can say big kingdoms, okay? Big kingdoms. So Mahajanpads, they are now flourishing. And with 16 Mahajanpads, people also had luxury in their life. They also had surplus in their life. They had no problem of daily basic needs now. They no need to go for hunting and gathering now. They had no need to depend on the subsistence type of agriculture now. They had surplus of everything. They had all the money what they wanted. Different sources of occupations were there. Employment opportunities were there. Everything was fine and good. Okay, so as it was going so nice, people started thinking now beyond the idea of basic needs. Why you see people who are successful are more depressed? Why? Because they know that success and money is not the real happiness. And after they realize this, the life, pulls them back, that where are you, what are you doing? But people who are not successful, people who are having struggles in their daily life, who struggle for their basic needs, who are just, trapped in a job, a 9 to 5 job to just earn and, run the home, they won't be able to, feel that pain. Why? Because they are stuck in the cycle of life and birth. So they don't have the time to think and feel the pain, because pain needs to be felt by you. Then only you will try to understand it and abolish it or create something out of it. But if you don't understand the pain, have you seen that if you are working and going here and there entire day, and a lot of thing is there in your, activity, maybe your legs are paining, but you don't realize. You realize it when you go to sleep at night. Then you realize, okay, my legs are paining so much. I was running whole day. So here also people realize that they were running whole of this time of history. Even today, they don't have the answers of the basic questions of spiritualism. What is awakening? What is enlightenment? They had no idea. So that's why now they started questioning. With new questions and new ideas came new religion. What kind of problems were there in the society? These are the good things, luxury and surplus, right? This is positive, this is good. But if you identify the problems, can you tell me one by one? I want you to give me one answer, everybody. Just try. What do you think? I have taught you the entire early Vedic era and later Vedic era. You saw how things got evolved in the later Vedic era. Fine. You saw the Varna system also. You saw the point of Shudras and women also. You know the pain of society now. So, can you tell me the problems of the society, maybe due to which a new religion was needed now in India? Can you identify the problems? As I told you, to have so much of wealth secured, people wanted better security and maintenance. That's why they started paying regular taxes to the ruler, and that's why regular taxation, army, kingdom, polity, hereditary rights, and monarchy got established in India in the later Vedic era. Okay, means after 1000 BC, after the discovery of iron, all these things happened, because now the importance of land became so much there in the society. It was so high that land was the most important thing for everyone. So to secure the land, to secure the wealth, to secure the house, people wanted a good powerful ruler. And a ruler is nothing without his army. Okay, a king is just a simple man without an army. If he is having no army, then he is a simple man. Okay, so the army makes him king. The authority of king is very much based on his army. Okay, if he is having powerful army, then only he will be able to give you security, right? So security is the basic thing. So army was needed, and also to legitimize his position, the king will do different yagyas like Ashwamedh yagya, Rajasuya yagya. Why? Because they wanted to legitimize their position that, okay, I am king, I'm having this army, but I have a divine right to rule on you. You should pay me taxes, that too on time, with the honesty, because I'm not just a ruler, I'm like a god for you. And if you really pay your taxes on time, I am there to fulfill all your demands. The first important need was security. Before this, the basic need was not security. People were hunter gatherers, they were settlers, they were nomadic, they had no idea of settling down. Even if they settled, they had their own basic clashes going on. But now, as they had a piece of land, जमीन आ गई थी भाई, जमीन जहां आएगी वहां प्रॉब्लम होगी, right? Land means problem, property, possession means problem. If you have a possession, you will have tension. If you have no possession, you will have no stress. This is the idea of Buddhism, especially Jainism, if I say. Because if you talk about the three important ideas of Jainism, it is clearly stated that there are five constraints in the Jainism, and the very important constraint is the non acquirance of the wealth, not keeping a lot of wealth with you. not holding the properties. Because if you will hold the property, you will have the stress. You won't be able to fill yourself spiritually. You won't be able to focus on anything else because you will only think about your possessions. But if you have no possession, you will have no stress. Okay, I hope you know this is a constraint in Jainism. I'll teach you other constraints also. But right now, what I want you to understand, I want you to give me some problems. List of problems. Okay, number one, I can see to spell the hymns. Okay, the hymns were written in the Sanskrit. However, it was not written in the early stages, but it got later written down. When later it got written down, it was in the old Vedic Sanskrit. Okay, remember, it is not the modern Sanskrit which we use today or which we see today. Okay, वो वाला Sanskrit नहीं है. It was the old Sanskrit, Vedic Sanskrit. Okay, that was very tough and it was only known to the elite people and Brahmins. So common masses were unaware about the Sanskrit. So that was one problem. Okay, very good. Mallappa, very nice. Second, Jitendra Kumar is saying Varna system. Okay, means social discrimination. I will write discrimination in society. Overall, discrimination was there. Isn't it? Discrimination against women, against Shudras, against Vaishyas, against poor people. So, discrimination was there. Ethical imbalance. Okay, very nice, Vijaya. And then Mallappa is saying difficult rituals, elaborated rituals. Okay, elaborated rituals. Please understand the point that as you have written here, Mallappa, difficult rituals, everyone. See, that's why I ask you to, put down some comments, because if you will, comment and if you will give the answers, you will learn more. Now, if you will write difficult rituals, you will get less marks in exam. Okay, Malappa, but if you will write elaborated rituals, you will get full marks in exam. Can you tell me why? Elaborated rituals. Do you see any difference? The difference is vocabulary and being more precise. Okay? Vocabulary is very important for you. And if you will not give answers in the class, you'll not know your mistakes. Okay? And everybody will be learning from your comment. So everybody should be thanking you that you made them understand a point. Okay, so elaborated rituals. Gaurav is saying frequent ritual sacrifices of cattle. Yes, as you know that they used to love cattle, they still love their cattle. So the cattle wealth was declining because Pashu Bali was given. Pashu Bali or animal sacrifice used to be there. On the name of religion, they were killing the animals, they were killing so many women also, they were killing the Shudras also, they used to kill so many people on the name of custom, on the name of religion. So this problem was there. Okay, but the biggest problem, nobody told me. Sabse badi problem, nobody. Please try more. I want your intelligence to grow. I just don't want to give you a lecture and complete the syllabus. Okay, however, my duty is only there, but I have some moral responsibilities. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to fulfill my moral responsibilities to you. I want you to think more. Even if you watch it in the recording, try to give better answers. Other big, big grave situations, grave issues. Can you tell me some more grave issues? Yes, discrimination. Everybody will write discrimination in their answer. Mains answer, when the examiner will read, everybody will write elaborated rituals. Everybody will write about the cattle wealth getting demolished. But the biggest reason was the clash of power. How? The clash of power was there. Because see, the Chaturvarna system clearly stated that Brahmins were there on the top. After Brahman, then Kshatriya came, then Vaishyas and Shudras. So in this ladder, Brahman were on the top. So Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. Now Brahmans, they were not the rulers. Okay, they were the knowers. They knew about the Vedas and they had the knowledge of Sanskrit also. So Brahmins always considered themselves on the top. due to which they used to get a lot of donations also, and they did their teaching and preaching also. But the problem was that Kshatriyas, as they were the rulers, they wanted to have more important position in the society. They wanted to show Brahmins that we are better than you. Okay, so this kind of clash is still going on in the society. If you know about the clash between Brahmins and Rajputs, you will understand. Because even today in the Brahman families, considering marriage with a Rajput family is not good. Okay, if anybody does that, people don't like it. They say that they are Rajputs, they are coming from a lower Varna. Why are you getting married to them? And even Rajputs don't like. Rajputs also say this, that we are Rajput, we will get married in the Rajput community only. They hate Brahmins. In general, I'm saying, okay, when I say, whatever I say, whatever I tell you is a general perception going on in the society, even today. Okay, whatever I'm saying you, it's not my personal opinion. So here, the Kshatriyas, as they were the rulers, they wanted to have more powerful position. To legitimize their position, they were dependent on whom? Can you tell me? To legitimize their position as a ruler, as a king, they were dependent on whom? They were dependent on the Brahmins. Because Brahmins only, made them perform the yagyas. Any yagya, any havan, any donation will be of no use without a pandit. Can you do a puja without a pandit? Today you can do some small things, but that is not a clear puja. Okay. Proper worship is done in a different way with those elaborated rituals. So the puja performed without a pandit is of no use. I'm telling you about this particular time, not today. Like I'm not discussing this about the present situation. I'm discussing the problem of 6th century BC. So understand, in the 6th century BC, the worship, the ritual, or any yagya, any havan, any sacrifice was of no use without pandit. Because Brahmins only knew how to perform the yagya, what to do, because they only had the knowledge of Vedas. So Brahmins were very important to legitimize the position of Kshatriya. So Kshatriya somehow wanted to be more powerful and more authoritative. That's why both the religions, Buddhism and Jainism, started from the Kshatriya clan. Clear? That was the problem. Okay. Now, Kshatriyas were willing to support the rise of new religious orders. Yes. Why? Now you know, Gaurav. You're right. Why they were willing to support? Because they wanted to make their social ladder upper than the Brahmins. They wanted to show Brahmins that you only can never have the religious powers and authorities with you. We can have a religion where no Varna system is there. We will abolish the Varna system. Okay. So when you read the Buddhism and Jainism, first of all, understand what are you doing. You are doing the school of philosophies. There are 6 major school of philosophies in India. They are divided into 2 parts, heterodox school and orthodox school. I'll make a flow chart to make you understand. If you have read art and culture, you must be knowing it. Have you read it? How many of you know about heterodox and orthodox school? Buddhism, Jainism, Charvak school of thought. So I'll tell you the difference, even if you don't know, no problem. Okay, no problem. Because I'm starting with zero. So I will teach you everything from the basics. You will not find these kind of details in the book also. You will get to know it after reading multiple books. Like if you are reading the art and culture book, art and culture textbook of Nitin Singhania with the ancient history of R.S. Sharma, keeping the Tamil Nadu history book open with you and then reading the class 6th NCERT, then you will understand this chart. Okay? And you are not a AI, you are original. Means you are not artificial intelligence, right? You don't have that artificial intelligence built in your mind. You are having original intelligence. And the original intelligence never works like this. You will first read one book, then you will read second book, then you will compare in the mind, then you will compare it with the third book, then you will make a new chart, then this chart will be compared to the fourth book, then only you will get to understand the entire idea. So to save your time, I'm giving you the culmination of all the books in just one lecture. So that's why you need to pay attention and understand. And even if you're not getting anything, even if it is very new, if it is new for you, no problem. You will understand it. When you will read it in the textbook, you will get familiar. Okay. So first of all, understand what are the school of philosophies. We have 6 major school of philosophies. They are divided into 2 types: orthodox school of philosophies and heterodox school of philosophies. In orthodox, have you seen people, sometimes I call my friend, you are very orthodox. Means what? Orthodox means old style, traditional thinking. They follow very old styles. Okay, they are very conservative in nature. Conservative people who consider that dowry is important for a marriage are very orthodox. Okay, means they are very conservative. They are not open minded. They follow their own old tradition. They follow their Vedas. So the Vedic religion or the Brahmanical ideas were related to the orthodox school of thought. So the old Brahmanical tradition used to follow the orthodox philosophy, but these new religions like Buddhism, Jainism, Charvak, they were following the new ideas with new concepts in which they wanted to break the old rules and they wanted to set the new rules. They said that what is the benefit of performing so much of yagyas, havans and doing so much of puja? Why are you following elaborated rituals? There is no use. What are you getting? Ultimately, death will happen. You only have one life. Enjoy it. You only have one life. Why are you wasting it? Just enjoy, do whatever you like. Don't harm anyone, but eat, drink, and make merry. Khao piyo ash karo. This idea was given by Charvak school of thought. The Charvak school of thought, Charvak used to say that even if for my entertainment and even if for my happiness I want to drink, I will drink alcohol. Okay, I will take drugs, I will drink alcohol, I will do whatever I want. And if I don't have the money to drink alcohol, I will take the loan. I will take so much of alcohol that I will fall on the roads. And then I will rise up and then I will drink again and then I'll walk again. This idea was given by Charvak. Like, koi baat nahi, nashe mein raho, khush raho, mast raho. Be very happy. Like whatever makes you happy, do it. Even if you need to take loan for it, take loans. Enjoy. Don't take stress of anything. Jainism said, see, you can't be so limitless. Jainism used to follow very clear constraints like obligations. Okay, so you need to live your life with obligations so that you give a limitation to your body and brain. You do tapasya, and with the tapasya, you will get everything. Buddhism used to say, follow a mid path. Don't be very extreme in anything. Okay, you don't need to be very stressful and you don't need to be very happy all the time, because it's not possible to drink and just fall on roads like that. And this is also not possible to be very strict with yourself. So be cool with yourself, chill, and just enjoy the life, but also follow the mid path. And they all rejected the orthodox philosophies. They wanted to have a new concept of a system. They rejected the Chaturvarna system. They accepted everyone. Even the women were allowed to be a monk. Even the women were allowed to come in their religion and have a upper ladder. They gave more openness to the society, and more oneness to the society. Okay. So now these issues with the caste system, the Varna system got completely demolished with the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. Okay. Now you tell me, who will not join Buddhism and Jainism? Who will hate Buddhism and Jainism? Brahmins. No Brahman converted to Buddhism or Jainism. Who guys will convert easily to the Buddhism and Jainism? People coming from the Shudras or Vaishyas community. Most of the people came from the Vaishyas community because Vaishyas wanted to increase their social status. They increased their economical status. They had a better standard of living now with the rise of trade and commerce in the later Vedic period. They had all the money with them, but they were still considered as a lower section in the society. They were not considered good. Even today, people who do business are not looked with respect in India. We don't respect the business at all. Have you seen? People will respect an IAS officer, but they won't give the same respect to a chaiwala, because chaiwala is a businessman. He is an entrepreneur, and that's why we are lacking in the secondary sector of economy. That's why we have a weak manufacturing sector. That's why we are very weak in exporting the items. We don't export much. We import a lot. We don't have our own technologies. Why? Because we degrade the businessmen. We degrade entrepreneurs. We don't like people to think and grow. This is a problem of our society. And this problem, this mindset is coming from the Vedic times. It's not a new thing. If you will ask your parents to prepare for UPSC, they will give you lakhs of rupees for the coaching center. If you'll ask that I want to start a new small business, I want to make soaps, I want to start a cafe, they won't support you until unless you are coming from a Baniya family. Generally, society, they don't give respects to the shopkeepers, to the small businesses, even for the big business owners. Even today, the big business owners, they struggle for the respect in the society. There is the respect, the power, the authority is not there because they treat their customers like God. Hanji, Oji, please, Lelo. So they always try to sell something. This is their behavior, this is their nature, right? To join the hands and request you to take the item. They are always selling something. But there is nothing wrong in it. It's okay, it's their job. They make a lot of wealth out of it. So we should respect them. But the society is problematic. And that's why in this heterodox school, we saw that most of the Vaishyas got converted. Do you know most of the wealthy people in India are Jains, even today, in the present time? Look at them. Most of the Jainis, you will see they are very wealthy. They have a lot of money. Because people who were already here, who followed the Vedic tradition, but they were in the Vaishya community, they had money, they converted to the Jainism. Now they have equality in their religion and they are happy. Okay, they said that, okay, if this religion is not fulfilling my demand, I'll make a new religion because money can do anything. People say that money is nothing. No, money is everything. It can do a lot of things for you. It can create a new religion for you. Because these people give donated to the donation to the Jainism and Buddhism, and due to the donation coming from the Vaishya community, this religion got flourished. Otherwise, these religions, they could have never survived in India. The Brahminical tradition is so strict and so hard, but the power of money, it shut them out of everybody. Clear? Any other problem? Yes. Bindusar followed Charvak school of thought? No. Gaurav, first of all, I never said this. And Bindusar used to follow Buddhism and Jainism both. He gave donations to both. Most of the rulers at that time. So many of the rulers, they themselves started following these new religions. Okay. And they started giving liberal donations. And that's why the rise happened. So the support is coming from the political leaders also. The support is coming from the business class also. The support is coming from the women also, because women were also deprived. The support was coming from the Shudras also. So 70% of the general social, society, they liked these new religions. They wanted to, see what can happen. Okay, and that's why they got converted. Is it clear? Now you will understand the bookish language, because now you have the concept in your brain. So 6th century BC, it is a time of the great thinkers. We had thinkers like Buddha, Mahavira, Heraclitus, Zoroaster, Confucius. See, Confucianism is a religion in China. So in not just in India, but in the entire world, we had these different, preachers and leaders who used to think, and Lao Tse was there. They lived in this time of 6th century BC, and they preached their ideas to everyone. The entire world was evolving, the transformation was happening. People were very, very happy and luxurious. They wanted to increase their happiness, they wanted to search for their answer. And as I told you, the basic idea of religion, why it got started initially, what was the main factor? The factor was to curb the sexuality of the women. Okay, see, men and women, they both are same only, they both are human only. Men have their own sexual desires, women also have their own sexual desires. But in the Indian context, it was clearly seen that if men will fulfill his sexual desires, he will not get pregnant, because he is a man. Biologically, it is not possible for a man to become pregnant or to raise a baby in his womb. It is only possible for a woman. So both are sexually active and both have sexual desires, both male and female. But if female will also do things like men, if she will also go out and have multiple relations, in her body counts, she might get pregnant easily, because she is biologically more vulnerable. So she will catch those kind of things, and ultimately if she gets pregnant, nobody will know that whose baby she is bearing, whose baby is there in her womb. भाई किसका बच्चा है पेट में, कैसे पता चलेगा? Because at that time no DNA testing was there, no scientific testing was there. Okay, at that time it was not possible. And it's not just in Hinduism. Okay, it is also in Islam. It is also in Islam also. Okay, because in Islam also, even after the triple talaq, or after talaq or divorce, there is a period known as iddat period. Okay, iddat period is a break period. It is a break where the women, she cannot remarry again to another man for around 3 months and 4 days. Why? For more than 3 months, she need to keep a break before getting attracted to another man, or before having any other sexual intercourse. Why? Because in case she is pregnant from the past marriage, nobody will know that who is the father. That's why a 3 months of gap is taken, even after the divorce, even after a triple talaq. Even today in the Muslim law, it is there. Because at that time people made these kind of rules. Why? Because it was not possible to know who is the father of the child. And everybody had so much of wealth, they had the piece of lands with them, right? Land came in the existence. No, land is the problem for everything. Because they had land, they wanted to pass this land, they wanted to pass this wealth only to their own son, only to their own kids, especially son. Okay, so they always wanted to know that if the son is mine or not. Okay, they wanted to have a complete surety and clarity. But who will give you a complete surety? Is it a guarantee? Is there any guarantee? There is no guarantee of a woman. No, not at all. Who will take the guarantee of the women? What if she has an affair outside the marriage? What if she is being raped? So, to clarify this, they had to make some customs in the society which can keep the women in control, which will make a clear intention in her mind that thinking beyond or outside your marriage is wrong. It is a paap. It is a sin if you think about any other man. If you do things before the marriage, if you let anybody touch you, you need to be virgin. She should be virgin at the time of her marriage, and she should keep only one man in her life. Then only this son and wealth and land will be secured. Otherwise, the man or the patriarchy will pass on the land and their wealth, not to their own generation, maybe to the boyfriend of the woman. That's why. This was one of the reasons. That's why if you will read the entire epics, Purans, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Sharia, Islamic law, Christian law, Buddhist law, Jain law, in every law you will see that women are given responsibility and men are given power. If you look at the piousness, purity, the women is always taking care of the purity, not the men. It was important for the women to be pure. Otherwise, she will be a bad woman in the eyes of the society. However, she is not a bad woman, but society had to make her bad. Otherwise, society won't be able to survive due to this. It was important for the survival of society. That's why the religion, customary things got started. And due to this, many of the women, they wanted to go with the freedom and flow, and they started coming out of Hinduism and Brahminical tradition. They got converted in Buddhism and Jainism. Many of the women also liked the new religion. So masses, everybody, they loved this new religion. Everybody had their own way of thinking and their own problems, for which they got the solution in the Buddhism and Jainism. That's why the rise of Jainism and Buddhism happened in India. Okay, so this heterodox sect, which got started against the orthodox religion, dominated by the rites and the rituals. If we talk about the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism, the primary cause is the religious factor. Okay, as I told you, there was a religious unrest going on in India in 6th century BC, and the complex rituals and sacrifices advocated in the later Vedic period, they were not accepted to the common people, because common people could not grow with those ideas. It was hard for them to read the Vedas and to understand them. The philosophical texts added to the Vedas later on, like the Brahmanas, the Upanishads, uh, the Shrutis and Smritis, everything which was written was in a very difficult language. People could not understand it. The language was so difficult that they could never get their answers. And that's why they never had the idea that how they will understand. So the sacrificial ceremonies, they were also found to be too expensive. It was not easy for everyone to afford the worship. Just imagine, you want to worship your god and you can't afford it. You don't have money to buy those basic ritualistic things because they are very expensive. And even today, if you plan to do a proper elaborated rituals a worship with proper elaborated rituals or a puja, have you ever kept a havan or a puja at your home? If you are a Hindu, you must be knowing it. It's very expensive. So that's why people could not follow their religion with a proper freedom. They always had some burden, and they wanted to remove all these burdens. The superstitious beliefs and the mantras confused the people. It was very confusing for them. Why? Because they never could have done it by themselves. It was not self development for them. Clear? Now, the teachings of Upanishads, an alternative to the system of sacrifices, they were highly philosophical in nature, not clear to the common masses, not understood by anyone. So that's why people wanted a, you know, easy religion. And if we talk about the larger interest, short and intelligible way to salvation was needed for all, where people wanted salvation. Now, what is this salvation? Why everybody is behind salvation? Why people want salvation? Why the need of salvation is there? Do you know the purpose of human life? What is the purpose? What do you want? Why do you know why are you living? You are living to get salvation, so that you come out of the cycle of birth and rebirth. Salvation and enlightenment are two different things. You must know the difference between salvation and enlightenment. Salvation and enlightenment. Can anybody give me difference? Do you know? कौन बताएगा? Thank you so much, Amar. Uh, okay, understand. Basically, salvation. See, you got a life. Okay, when your life starts, you are quite happy. You get everything on your bed. Okay, you are breastfeeded by your mother. You will have everything around you. People will love you. They will give you affection without taking anything from you. You will get everything for free. Okay, free food, free love, free. Everything is easy for you. Now, when you grow up, life becomes difficult. Life is tough. Okay, the suffering starts. The suffering will only increase with life. Okay, if you ask people in their old age that how they feel, they will tell you a lot of pain in their life. Okay, because they have suffered a lot. So, with the life, the suffering will increase. So, you will suffer. Every day, you will suffer. Isn't it a suffer? That right now, even if you're studying, you want to crack the exam, you have a goal, you have a tension in your mind that okay, I need to do something. Okay, I need to wake up. Even if you want to bath in the rivers, run in the gardens, laugh with your friends, you can't do that because you are a UPSC aspirant. But like you, other students are also suffering. Because they are also aspirants. Like I also teach people coming from judiciary. They are preparing for judiciary exam. They are also unhappy. They can't do the things they want. They think that they will do it after they crack the exam. But once you crack the exam, then you go for the training. Then you have a job responsibility. Then you can't laugh and play like that. We love laughing and playing, right? We want to live happily and freely, but we never do that. We can't do it. Why? Because survival is important. We need to earn. We have a stomach to fill, right? We have a stomach to fill. And that's why the suffering will always be there. The fear and the hunger will only increase in life. It can never it can never go out of your life. The fear and hunger will always be there. You will always be hungry for something. You will always be fearful for something. Everybody has it. Now the problem is that this suffering, it will only increase with the life, and then there will be a point of time when the death will happen. Now, is death is the end of suffering? Are you free now? No, not at all. You will again get the rebirth, and then again the life will start, which will again give you the suffering and pain, and then again you will die, and then again rebirth, suffer, pain, death, life, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. It will happen again and again, again and again, again and again, multiple times. This is a problem. Now, to come out of this cycle, what is the formula? How can you come out? If after the death you don't get the rebirth, you don't get this life of suffering, but you get the salvation, means moksha. In case you come out of this cycle, you get the salvation. So, what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is moksha. The purpose of life is salvation. Everybody wants salvation. In different religion, it is known with the different words. Like it is also known as Jannat in Islam. It is known as heaven in Christianity. It is known as Mahaparinirvan in Buddhism. It is known as Nirvan in Jainism. It is known with different words. It is also known as Swarg in Hinduism. और कोई किसी को पता है तो बता दो. I only know these. If you know more, you can tell me in the comments. Got it? So now, if you want to come out of this cycle, you need to get salvation, means moksha. Like if you die very peacefully, and then you don't get the rebirth again. but you go to the God directly and then you're connected with the God or the Almighty. Okay, and then you are completely connected to the God and you are enjoying the life in heaven. Okay, so that's why we want salvation. That is the real purpose of religion, to give you salvation. Now, to give this salvation, you need to understand that what is salvation. I need salvation. If you don't know that why I need salvation, what should I do for salvation? How can I get salvation quickly? How can I get it quickly and easily? If you don't know, you will not never try for it. Right? You are studying it right now because you wanted to prepare for the exam. Otherwise, you might have never got this question in your mind. You will get it only in your mature stage of life, when you will have family, kids, job responsibility and everything around you. Then only people get to understand these questions. Right now, I assume that you all are in your early 20s, so maybe you might not get these points. Maybe it is very foolish and bullshit for you, but understand, when you reach your 30s, when you come in your 40s, and after retirement also, people, they think about it. They want salvation. Right now, you don't want it. Why? Because you are enjoying a very youthful stage of your life. You are in a golden period. So that's why it looks bullshit to you. But it is not a bullshit concept. It's a very important concept. Okay? You will realize later in your mature stage of life. When you will get mature, when you will have a lot of responsibilities, then you will understand that life is very painful and it is full of suffering, and we all want to end this suffering. Fine. Now, to end this suffering, the solution is salvation. But how to get that salvation? How to reach this salvation? To realize that life is the only way to give you salvation. Okay, this life is a way to achieve salvation. You should be happy to be born as a human being, that now you can perform all those activities which can bring you to the salvation easily. That awakening and this realization is known as enlightenment. Okay, this awakening is known as enlightenment. So the awakened one are known as enlightened one, like Buddha. Okay, so I hope you got the idea. I hope you got the difference between salvation and enlightenment. Clear? Now, every time these words will get repeated, that's why I taught you easily. Now you know that people wanted to get the salvation, but to get salvation, it was very hard for them, because they had to do expensive rituals, because it was the part of their religion. Otherwise, they could have never got the salvation. So, for salvation, people wanted a short and simple way, easy way, intelligible way to get the salvation. Remember, as I told you, that at that time, Mallappa, she was writing different difficult rituals. I told her to write elaborated rituals. Similarly, write intelligible way, not easy way. Exam में easy way लिखोगे अगर, you will get less marks. If you will write intelligible way, then you will get full marks. So, intelligible way to achieve the salvation for all people, such religious teaching should also be in a language known to them, which people understand, which they could read, which they could understand. If they have any doubt, they could read it again. Like, if you get any doubt, what you do? You can open your textbook and check if I'm wrong or not, if I'm wrong or right. But what if you don't have a textbook for checking your doubts? What if you don't know the language of that textbook? Then you will be stuck. It will be a complete problematic situation for you. So here also people were struggling for the language. Now this need was fulfilled by them with the teaching of Buddha and Mahavira, who used to teach in Pali and Prakrit language, the language of the masses, the lingua of the masses. Clear? To know yourself is also enlightenment. That's right, Jitendra. Clear? Now understand that social and economic factors, the rigid caste system, okay, rigid caste system was a very big problem, that it was prevalent in India. It generated tensions in the society. Higher classes enjoyed more privileges which were denied to the lower classes. Also, the Kshatriyas had resented the domination of the priestly class. Kshatriya wanted to take some revenge, and that's why they wanted to uplift their class. So Buddha Mahavira belonged to the Kshatriya origin. The growth of trade also led the improvement in the economic condition of Vaishyas who wanted to increase their social status, the merchant class. As a result, they wanted to enhance their social status, but the orthodox Varna system did not allow. So therefore, they had to support the new religions, Buddhism and Jainism. So I will start with the life of Mahavira, Vardhaman Mahavir, Jainism. First of all, Jainism, basically it is all about conquering your senses. Okay, who is a Jaina? Who conquered his senses. According to Jainism, people coming from the Shudra community or Shudra Varna are not Shudras. Okay, who are Shudras? You are a Shudra if you are a slave of your senses. If you are a slave of your senses, if you follow your senses every time, okay, if you eat what you want, not what you need, what is healthy for your body, but for your tongue, for your taste, you are eating and eating, then you are a slave of your senses. If you are looking at a woman with a lusty eyes without her permission, that is means you are giving pleasure to your eyes. If you're looking at a girl in a wrong way, if you're looking at a woman in a wrong way, if she is not yours, and still if you are being lusty for her, that is you're giving pleasure to your eyes, you're giving pleasure to your senses, means you are a slave of your senses, you are a Shudra. So who is a Shudra? Who is a slave of senses? So according to Jainism, if you want to be a person who is a conqueror, who is a Jaina, then you need to conquer your senses first. Conquer yourself. Start from yourself. Can you conquer yourself? Can you teach yourself to be in your limits, to eat well, to be healthy, to study well, to do good in society, to help people? Can you teach yourself to do it? Can you make yourself disciplined? Do you follow discipline or do you need motivation for it? So if you follow discipline, if you really take care of your health, if you take care of the society, then yes, you are a true man. You are a true Jaina. So a Jain will always take care of himself and others. He won't be able to even kill the bacteria and small organisms in the air by his breath. So they always keep a mask on their face, because they believe that even when we breathe, when we inhale, we kill many microorganisms present in the air, and they also have the right to live. Article 21 of Indian Constitution, they also have it. So that's why if you are breathing, if you are inhaling, you are killing so many organisms. You are taking their life. You are being a murderer. So don't be a murderer. Don't be a criminal. Keep a mask on your face. Breathe slowly and easily so that it give you calmness. Okay? Have you seen people who have breathlessness? They have breathlessness, they breathe more. They take it more constantly. Okay? And it is a very rough breathe. So according to Jainism, it is all about conquering yourself and taking care of yourself first, and then also taking care of others. Not doing any harm to anyone. The concept of non-violence was given by Jainism with a very strict way. And this concept given by Jainism, the idea of non-violence, was greatly utilized by a great man of India who is a father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji. He was also inspired by this idea of non-violence. So the main principle of Jainism is to be non-violent, no stealing, don't say or never say a lie, never tell a lie, never have any possessions, okay, brahmacharya and asteya. So what is brahmacharya? Basically, brahmacharya was the fifth constraint added by the Vardhaman Mahavir. But Vardhaman Mahavir is not the founder of Jainism. People, they misinterpret it, because even in the NCERT they have written it wrong, that Mahavir was the founder of Jainism. No. Who was the founder? Mahavir was not the founder of Jainism. He was the 24th Tirthankar. He was the 24th Dharma Guru. He was just a teacher. He came on 24th number, 24. Before him, we already had 23 Tirthankars. 23 gurus were already there. Just before him, Parsavnath was there. And the first was Rishabh Dev. So Rishabh Dev was the founder of Jainism. Rishabh Dev gave the idea of Jainism. And with the time of Rishabh Dev till the time of Parsavnath, only 4 constraints were there. But the fifth, Brahmacharya, was added by Mahavira. So as Mahavira popularized it so much, and he also added the fifth constraint of Brahmacharya, means no sexual relation or intercourse with anyone, is Brahmacharya, which was added by Vardhaman Mahavir. As he added this and he popularized the religion so well, that's why sometimes he is also considered as a founder. But he is not the real founder. He made it popular. Okay, he gave more strength to the religion. Religion was already existing. It was already there in the society. Clear? Any doubts? Rishabh Dev, Rishabh Nath, anything you can say. Rishabh Dev or Rishabh Nath. Okay, Malappa? That's why mostly Jains are not involved in agriculture. Yes, because even in the time of agriculture, you kill a lot of organisms in the soil. Those microorganisms are getting killed. But don't you think that it is too strict? Because if we will not perform agriculture, how the crops will grow? So they are very, very strict. They are saying that don't grow anything. Okay, they have a lot of restrictions. They follow many omissions. Many omissions and restrictions are there in the Jainism. That's why people initially, they could not follow it. Okay, many of the people, they tried to convert, but they could not follow it because it was very, very strict. It is very tough to lead a life like this. But is it really tough? You will be surprised to know it is very easy and it is very good. You'll be surprised to know I have many friends who are Jainas and they are very strictly following it. They are very happy people. Because you know what? With their limitations, they have limited everything in their life. They are very minimalistic in nature. They are not greedy. So that's why they are not stressful. They are very peaceful and happy all the time. Because they are not completely dependent on agricultural production. They can eat the fruits. There are different edible items in the nature for which you don't need any cooking also. You can directly consume it. There are different types of fruits and vegetables which you can consume raw, and even if you want you can cook it. So they follow it with such a limited way that it makes them happy. Because sometimes, when you get a lot of variety in your life, you get confused and you are always unhappy even if you take it. For example, let's say I go to a shop, I want a new dress. Okay. I liked the shop, it had so many varieties. With so many varieties, I got confused because I have limited amount of money with me. Now, even if I buy one dress which I like the most, I will still have those other dresses in my mind which I have not bought. And I will plan that, okay, next time I will buy this one. So I got a stress, no? Isn't it a tension that I will always be thinking about that dress which I did not get? which I did not buy. Even if I'm wearing the most beautiful dress of that particular store, still I am unhappy because something is lacking in my life. What is lacking? Even if the best dress is with me, I will be unhappy that the another dress which I did not buy that day is still there in the store. Maybe somebody else will buy it. Maybe somebody else will wear it. So I have a connection, emotional connection. So I will be unhappy. See, I should be happy after buying a new dress. No, I should be happy that, okay, now I have bought it. I should be happy. I should be happy forever. But it is just a happiness for few seconds. I'll be happy for few seconds only. I'm happy, but only for few minutes. But after that, I realized that, okay, that dress, that jeans, that bag, that house, that car, that is not there with me. I want that car also. I want that also. I want that also. So this want, desire, greed will never end. It is never ending. So that's why in Jainism, it looks like it is very strict and it is very tough. But in reality, if you see the people who follow it, I won't say you follow it because it will be like a conversion for you. Uh, but if you see the people who follow it, it is really very peaceful for them. They don't even touch the money. They don't like to touch the cash because they think that, cash is a kind of a wealth, and again it will add a stress in there. They are very stress free people. Actually, they have created so many limitations, so they have only limited choices to eat, limited choices to wear, limited types of clothes they can wear, limited way of life. So that limitation made them very humble and grounded. That's why they are happy, as they don't need to think what to wear, what to eat, how to do, where to go. So they have no stress at all. They are just living their life. Clear? Any doubt? Fine. Now next, Vardhaman Mahavir was the 24th Tirthankar of the Jain tradition. He was born in Kundalgram, which is near Vaishali, to a Kshatriya parents, Siddharth and Trisala. Okay, Siddharth was the father, Trisala was the mother. He married Yashoda and gave birth to a daughter. At the age of 30, he became an ascetic and wandered for 12 years. After 12 years, he got enlightenment. So in his 30th year, his of his penance means tapasya. Okay, after this hard tapasya, he attained the highest spiritual knowledge, which is called as Keval Gyan. Keval Gyan is also known as enlightenment. Okay, Keval Gyan or enlightenment. So thereafter he was called Mahavira or Jina. Means Mahavir means what? Veeron ke veer, Mahavir. Like, he is not just a conqueror, he is not brave, he is the most brave, big brave guy. Mahavir, very brave. Why he is so brave? Because he has conquered his senses. He never killed anyone. He never raised any war. But he is considered Mahavira. Why? Because he conquered himself. He made himself so disciplined that he became an idle man. He was so disciplined. He was so pure. So everybody liked him. Everybody liked his idea. So his followers were called Jains and his religion Jainism. So he preached his doctrines for 30 years and then he died at the age of 72 at Pava, which is near Rajgriha. Okay, Pava, which is near Rajgriha in Bihar. Okay, in Bihar he died. So after his death, his ideas were written in Jain texts or known as Jain chronicles, and then they are widely circulated. Even today people read it. And then if we talk about what are the teachings of Mahavira, three principles of Jainism known as three Ratnas. First is right path, Samyak Darshan. Means first of all you should first and most important thing is that you follow a right path. Let's say you want to crack the exam. Okay, you want to crack the UPSC exam, but you don't have the right books for you, but you don't have the right strategy, you don't have the right guidance. What will happen? You will lose your faith. You will lose your path. So your faith will be lost, your belief, your trust will be lost. because every time after doing something, you will realize that I'm not getting the concept. Okay, so that is very important. So faith is very, very important. The faith which comes with the right path is very, very important. Then comes the right knowledge. If you have faith, then you will also have the knowledge, and when you get the knowledge, it should be with the right conduct, means it should be in a good way, that you should not misuse your knowledge. So first of all, right faith or samyak darshan talks about the philosophical nature or the point of view of your life, that you should have a positive perspective. Like, you should have faith that life is good, God is there to help you, and everything is fine. Okay, you should always have this confidence that everything will be fine and everything is good. I can conquer, I can do this, I can do this. Like, this positive feeling should be there with you. If you will have the faith in yourself, in the God, in the world, then this belief in the teaching and the wisdom of Mahavira will come. Okay, so when you will have the belief, see, like, if you don't, for example, let's say you come to my class and I give you so many things. I give you the teaching, I give you the ideas, I give you the strategies, but what if you don't have the faith in me, as if you don't know if I'm teaching right or wrong? What if you have this mind that maybe she is teaching wrong? If you get this perception, if you will have no faith on me, then you won't be able to grasp my teaching, right? Then whatever I will say, you will first judge it, you will try to confirm it from the Google or the book, and then after confirming only, you will realize that, okay, this is fine and I should read it. But if you have a complete faith on me, then what will happen? You will grasp everything without a second thought, without any confusion or doubt. You will get it. So faith is firstly very, very important. If you don't have the faith, don't go on that path. If you have a faith, then believe it completely with 100% surety that this is fine, it is good. Once you achieve it, then you will get the teachings, and that will be a right knowledge. Right knowledge means samyak gyan. Samyak gyan, it is acceptance of the theory that there is no God and that the world has been existing without a creator, and that all objects possesses a soul. What does it mean? They don't believe in God or the system of Vedic tradition, or the cycle of those things related to Vedas. They say that this universe was always existing as it is. There is no God who created it. So you don't need to make any idol, you don't need to do any idol worship, you don't need to do any rituals, because there is no God. Whom are you trying to praise? Whom are you trying to praise और वर्शिप? भाई, किसकी पूजा कर रहे हो? कोई है ही नहीं जिसकी तुम पूजा सोच रहे हो. Nobody is there. The things, the nature was already existing. If you want to worship, then the nature is there to worship. Take care of the nature. Nature is your God. There is no creator as such. According to Jainism, this is not my opinion. This is according to Jainism, which I'm teaching you. So Jainism says that there was nothing like a creator. This universe, this world was already existing as it is. You came here, you took the birth. Now it is your responsibility to conquer your senses, to limit yourself, to be disciplined in your life, and also do welfare for others without harming anyone. And then this should be in a right conduct. Right conduct means the behavior, the actions you take. So basically, Samyak Charit means your character should be good. How this character should be good? By observing the 5 doctrines. If you have these 5 constraints in the life, okay, first of all, not to injure, okay, ahimsa, not to lie, okay, asatya, never. Then not to steal, not to acquire property, apargriha, not to lead immoral life, or brahmacharya. So these 5 things are very, very important. These 5 principles are very, very important according to the Jainism. So he also gave some other teachings, like he wanted people strictly to follow the doctrine of ahimsa. He regarded that all the objects, both animals and animated or inanimated, have souls. Means everything which is there around you is having a soul, even if the bacteria or even if the animals are there, birds are there, fishes are there, they all have their souls. Every animated and inanimated thing is having a soul, and they all have the right to live. So they possess life, they feel pain when they die, when they are injured. So you should not injure anyone, you should not harm anyone. Mahavira rejected the authority of Vedas and objected to the Vedic rituals. He advocated a very holy and ethical code of conduct. He even practice of agriculture was considered wrong in his eyes. It was sinful because it also created injury to the earth, worms, and animals. Because in the process of agriculture, you harm the earth, you harm the worms, you harm the animals. So, to carry out the doctrine of asceticism and renunciation to extreme lengths by the practice of starvation, nudity, and so many other things, it was a kind of self torture. But for them, it was not a torture at all, it was a self discipline for them. Okay, so they used to do all these things. They wanted to keep all the luxury and worldly happiness and materialistic things out of their life, because they thought that these materialistic things will only increase your pain. If you really want to live peacefully and die peacefully, then the best way is be very simple and easy. Now, if you talk about the spread of Jainism, Mahavira organized Sangha to spread his teachings. He admitted both men and women in the Sangha, and it spreaded rapidly in the Western India and Karnataka also. If we talk about the rulers and dynasties who patronized, so Chandragupta Maurya, he was a very great follower. Nobody killed Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya, he performed Sallekhana. Sallekhana is a practice in Jainism in which you do a fast unto death. Okay, you do the fasting until you die. Okay, so you do the fasting to die peacefully. How? You gradually reduce the intake of food and water, and then with the fasting, automatically natural death happens. It is known as Sallekhana. It is known as Sallekhana. The practice of Sanlekhana was banned by Rajasthan High Court in 2015, but the Supreme Court uplifted the ban, considering it not a suicide but a religious practice. Okay, so Sanlekhana is a religious practice of Jainism. Now, rulers and dynasties, basically, Chandragupta Maurya, he followed it, he performed Sallekhana, and due to Sallekhana, he died. Kharvela at Kalinga and the royal dynasties of South India, they also followed the idea of Mahavira. The Gangas dynasties, the Kadambas dynasties, Chalukya dynasty, Rashtrakuta dynasty, every dynasty patronized Jainism. If we talk about the division, there was a division in Jainism due to the famine like situation came up in North India. So by the end of 4th century BC, there was a serious famine in the Ganga Valley, in the Gangetic Delta. Their problem was there. So basically, in the region near to the Ganga River, famine was there. Nothing was there to eat. People could not survive at all. So that's why for their survival, many Jain monks led by Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta Maurya, they came to Sravana Belagola in Karnataka. There, they started practicing their religion and their ways in their own style. So what happened? Those who stayed back in North India, they were led by a monk named as Sthulbahu. So Sthulbahu changed the code of conduct of the monks for the monks. Why? To survive. Because basically in the famine like situation, it was hard to survive. Because of which the division of Jainism happened in the two sects, Svetambaras and Digambaras. Svetambaras means white clad, they can wear white clothes, and they are led by Sthulbahu. And Digambaras are sky clad, they keep themselves naked, they were led by Bhadrabahu. So Digambaras, they don't wear anything, they stay completely nude, they don't cover their body, but the Shwetambaras, they cover their bodies with the white cloth. A white cloth is only acceptable for them it is accepted. And then if you look at the ideas and the conduct, the Shwetambaras are more liberal. They say that even a woman can be a Tirthankar, and they are more liberal in their ways. But Digambaras are very, very strict. They are extremely strict, and they follow it very extremely. If we talk about the Jain councils, because see, the after the death of Jaina, it was important to keep his teachings intact. That's why the first Jain council happened. It held at Patliputra 3rd century BC and was presided by Sthulbhadra. So second Jain council also happened, which held at Vallabhi in 512 AD, and it was presided by Devardhi Shramar Samana. And then the final compilation of 12 Angas and 12 Upangas are the teachings and writings of the Jain canonical text happened, which is the real idea and textbook of the Jain religion, which gives you the details of the Jain religion it was written. So first and second Jain councils both are very, very important. So this is the end of Jainism. Clear? I have completely discussed all the concepts related to the Jainism to you. Now I will start with Buddhism. So Buddhism, we will start with the life of Gautam Buddha from 567 to 487 BC. Any doubt from the Jainism? Yes or no? Write it down in the comment. You need to write. हाँ या ना कुछ बोला करो please. You have the accessibility to comment and talk to me, but you are not doing it. It's a very big loss for you, and you will realize it after few days. How you will realize? When I will start putting recordings. I'll not come live because I see that you guys are not interactive at all. If you will not interact to me, see, it will be boring for me also. So that's why if you really want to have live classes regularly on time every day, then you must take care of your teacher also. You should think about me also, right? I'm teaching you. I'll be happy if I'll get the response. Clear? Okay. Thank you so much, Jitendra and Rahi Devil. Now, let's come to the new religion, Buddhism. Very, very important, guys. Most of the questions are asked from the Buddhism, and you will be surprised to know that Buddhism, which started from India, is now not existing in India. It is not there anymore. Like, people are still there, like they follow Buddhism, but very few, very few. Okay, very less amount of people are there, very less amount of followers are there. So basically, Gautam or Siddharth, he is the founder of Buddhism. Okay, who is the founder? Siddharth is the founder, or Gautam Buddha is the founder of Buddhism. Okay, he was born in 567 BC in Lumbini. Lumbini is the name of place which is near Nepal. Okay, so it is a garden in Lumbini which is near to Kapil Vastu. Right now it is in present Nepal, but at that time when Siddharth was born, it was the part of India only. So we will consider it consider it as a part of ancient India only. Be clear about it. Buddha was born in India. Okay, at that time it was the part of India. Now, his father was Sudhodan of Sakya clan and mother was Maya Devi. So, his mother basically died at the childbirth due to the labor pain, and then he was brought up by his aunt Prajapati Gautami. Prajapati Gautami taught Buddha about the importance of women in the society, and at the age of 16, he married Yashodhara and gave birth to the son Rahul. Rahul was the son of Buddha, and Yashodhara was the son of was the wife of Buddha. So basically, it is always said that Yashodhara, basically the wife of Buddha, she had to bear a lot in her life, right? See, look at the women and the wife in the society. If you look at her perspective, she is how she will feel like one morning she woke up and didn't see her husband. What will she do? Her entire life was destroyed, isn't it? So when we talk about sacrifice, basically, it is always said the feeling of let go. The feeling of let go is very, very important. So basically, every sannyasi or every particular person like Buddha who leaves his house, who leaves his home, it is only admissible that they have completely conquered themselves and they are a complete true, sannyasi if they get the uh, if they get something in their in donation from their own house, from their own family. Are you getting my point? Let's say if I decide to become a sannyasi today, I will be a sannyasi, I will lead a very pure life. Okay. But with the purity and with the increase in time, I will be popular. With my popularity, people will know about my background. Now, to clear the doubts of the masses and to make it clear in the eyes of everyone that I am a true sannyasi, there is a examination, a test in this world of dharma. What is the test? That I myself need to go back to my home, to my family, and there not to meet my family, not to meet my, family members, but to take donations from them. Okay, to beg in front of them. And if I get donation, if I get the dan from the hand of my family member, surviving family member at that time, then only I will be considered a true sannyasi. Then I will become a true sannyasi. So the last stage of getting a dan from your own house was the most important task and the most difficult task for the sannyasis. And many of them could not do it because they thought that if they would return back to their house, if they will go back to their families, they won't be able to come out of it. It will be very hard for them to come out again. So many of them chose not to clear this test. So many of the sannyasi don't take it. Okay, they don't attempt this. But Buddha attempted it. Buddha, after attaining every enlightenment and everything as a sannyasi, he thought to go back and get some donation from his own family member. So there, basically, he was invited by his father only to come for the last time. And when he went there, he went as a sannyasi, and he just thought to do his last test also to make it 100% clear in front of the world that he is a true sannyasi now, and to make himself also very clear that he will never think about his wife or son again. So he, went to Yashodhara, his wife, again, and he asked Yashodhara to bhiksha, bhiksham dehi. Now, what do you think what will Yashodhara will do? She was already very angry and outraged because she was left alone without telling anything, suddenly, without any explanation. She was living like a widow. She never deserved this kind of life. She had a lot of pain in her life. So she was full of anger when Buddha came in front of her. But Buddha, instead of confronting her, instead of talking to her, said what? He said, Bhiksham Dehi. Now, just look at the perspective, look from the perspective of Yashodhara, how Yashodhara will feel. She felt a lot of pain at that time. That after so many years, this man returned to me, and instead of talking to me, instead of asking, how am I, he is asking for a bhiksha. He is begging in front of me just because he wants to prove the world that he is a real sannyasi. So she was very, very angry. But when she saw the humbleness of Buddha, the ethical moral conduct of Buddha as a sannyasi, that even after so many years and even in this angry situation, he could say Bhiksham Dehi. So she became so soft that she really gave Bhiksha to Buddha. And what was the Bhiksha? Do you know? She gave her son Rahul to Buddha. Like, okay, now you can take him also and make him a monk with you. This is the most biggest feeling of let go, that the women, she was so big at her heart that she let go her child also, because then she understood the true meaning of bhiksha. Now, what turned him into an ascetic? Why Buddha became an ascetic? Basically, when Buddha was born, it was clearly seen by the astrologers that he will be a monk very soon, and he will not be living a life of a common man or like a king. So basically, his father, he knew that this boy of mine can leave the home anytime, and he will become a ascetic. He will become a wanderer. He can become a sannyasi. So that's why father was very stressed about this fact. He was always in tension that what if Buddha will leave. I won't say the word Buddha here, I will say Siddharth. Okay, what if Siddharth will leave. So basically, Siddharth, Gautam Buddha or Gautama, at that time in his childhood, it was known to everyone that Gautam can leave the house anytime. So his father, he made the house so luxurious and beautiful, and he kept every entertainment and everything in front of his son, so that he enjoys it more, he lives it, and he never thinks of letting it go. Now, what happened that even his father himself asked his friends, asked the friend of Gautama to, take him out of the house in some, red light night areas where prostitutes were there, so that he enjoys the sexual feelings also, and he gets indulged in the lively things, and, he spends a life like a king. He went to the prostitutes also, but he never ever enjoyed anything. The thing was that he was always having a question in his mind, that what is life, why should I live, what is the reality, was what is going on. And why it happened, because one day when he was going out of his house, he saw four men: a person who was diseased after death, a dead body, a person who was very unwell, very bad in the health, a person who was very poor, sick, and a person who was very wealthy. Okay, so these four men, after looking at them, Buddha asked the question from his sarathi, his chariot, his driver, you can say, basically, that who all are they, why this man is so unwell, why this man is not saying anything, what is this dead body, what do you mean by a dead body. He never saw a dead body, basically. But after looking on this reality of lives, he started questioning the life, that if I can die anytime, if there is no guarantee of this life, if there is no guarantee of this body, if there is no guarantee of this wealth, then why am I living like a king? What is the real meaning? And to search the meaning, he was very curious. So, the sight of old men, a diseased man, a corpse, and an ascetic turned him away from a worldly life, and he left home at the age of 29, and he searched the truth, and ultimately he got the enlightenment in Bodh Gaya in Bihar. Bodh Gaya is in Bihar. Why he went to Bihar? Because Bihar was known as Bihar, where scholars used to roam here and there. That's why it was known as a land of scholars, where scholars used to roam here and there. Scholars used to go here and there in that state, which was known as Bihar. But in Bihar, V is spelled as B. Bihar में V को B बोलते हैं. So that's why Bihar became Bihar today. Now, when he came to know about this state where people and many scholars they wander, he went there to get the enlightenment. He sat under a bodhi tree, a people tree, and there he got the enlightenment. So under a bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, he got the enlightenment, which is nirvana, at the age of 35. Since then, he became known as Buddha or the Enlightened One. Then he went to give his first sermon. Because when he got enlightened, basically he was very curious to teach. Whenever he used to get any new knowledge, he wanted to spread it to all. He wanted to help people out of it. So that's why he delivered his first sermon in Sarnath. Sarnath near Banaras. Do you know why he went to Sarnath only? From Bodh Gaya to Sarnath. Why he traveled so long? Any idea? He could have given his first sermon in Bodh Gaya itself. When he got enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, when he got enlightened, when he realized that okay, fine, I am enlightened now, then he could have given his first sermon, his first teaching in Bodh Gaya. Why he traveled to Sarnath? Why so much of travel and pain? And why to Sarnath only? Why specifically he went to Sarnath? Any idea? Who will tell me? Thank you so much, Rahi. Yes, yes, I will bring live sessions only. I will try to keep it live as much as possible. Yes, who will give me the right answer? Be quick when you write. He went to Sarnath. Why? Because when he was searching for the truth, he had many questions in his mind. He used to ask questions from everyone. In his journey, he met four Brahmins who kept him for many days, who took care of him, and who wanted him to understand the ideas of Brahmanism. So they used to argue a lot. Ultimately, when Siddharth was not satisfied with the answers, he left those four friends or four Brahmins, and then he started searching for the truth by himself. When he was on this path, he realized that whenever he will get the enlightenment, he had this decision in his mind that he will go back to his four past friends or preachers or teachers, whoever, to tell them the truth, because they were very popular and they were in the Sarnath at that time. That's why he went back and then he searched for them. After looking at them, he started his sermon, because he was quite confident that he would be able to give satisfied answers. Now he is having all the answers of his questions. Now it is completely clear to him, and that's why he went to Sarnath. Clear? Any doubts? I hope you can stay for 10 more minutes, because in 10 minutes I will finish this topic and I will end the session. But you need to be more attentive. Or do you want me to continue tomorrow? I want to finish it off because I want to start a new topic tomorrow. So if you will say yes, I will continue. So basically, he delivered his first sermon at Sarnath near Banaras, and for the next 45 years, he led the life of a preacher. He died at the age of 80 at Kushinagar. Why the age is important? The age of death is important because if you like, you saw how Mahavira, he also died at the age of 75. So age, death after the age of 70s or in 80s is considered a very good life. It means that they lived a very happy and healthy life, that they could live so long, because living for a longer period is a blessing. It clarifies that you are at the right path. It is a confirmation that you are a enlightened person if you are able to live so long, because you are taking care of your health also, and you know about your own discipline also. You are a real conqueror, right? You know your body, you know yourself. That's why you're able to live so long. And with the natural death, he died. So, his disciples basically Sariputta, Mogalana, Ananda, Kasappa, and Upali are the most important disciples of Buddha. They started the teachings of Buddha in a written form. They started writing it later after the death of Buddha. Okay. Okay, I'll finish it. So, kings like Prasenjit of Kosala, Bimbisar, Ajatshatru of Magad accepted his doctrine and they became his disciples. He visited places like Banaras, Rajgriha, Sarvasti, Vaishali, Nalanda, Patligram, and wherever he used to go, he used to preach. And all his places, wherever he visited, there is a stupa made. Who made the stupas later? Ashoka. Ashoka decided to make a stupa everywhere. Buddha visited in all the places. Ashoka made stupas for Buddha. Okay, when we talk about the teachings of Buddha, what all are the teachings? So, first of all, four noble truths of Buddha. Buddha said that you need to understand that in this life, four noble truths are there, four realities are there. Number one, the world is full of suffering. Okay, the world is full of suffering. It is painful. The cause of suffering is desire. Because you desire something, you have expectations. If you will kill all your desires and expectations, you will get rid of suffering also. Suffering will be removed. Now, how to get rid of these desires? How to end this suffering? This can be done by following the eightfold path. What is the eightfold path? Eightfold path is that live life with right view, right resolve, right conduct, right mindfulness, right concentration, right effort, right livelihood, right speech, and right, life will be created in this way. So what is the meaning of this eightfold path? Understand. First of all, right view. First of all, you should have a right perception in your mind. Like if I'm teaching you something, and if you don't have a right view, let's say you have a negative perception about me, that she is a bad human being, she will never tell me a right thing, she can never teach well. If you will have this kind of negativity in your mind, then whatever I will say will be judged very wrongly from your side. But if you will have this view to be very clear and inclusive, that let's see without any judgments how will the class will be, let me just join the course, let me see that how it feels, then you decide later, with the view which is non judgmental, with a view which is non biased, which is neutral, which is positive. That is the right view. Okay, so every time you must have a clear good perception. If you will have a wrong view for the things, and if you will create wrong interpretations, wrong perception, then everything will look bad. Like a glass which is having a half glass of water, you can consider it half full or half empty. It is up to you. You can call it that the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. So make a perception that half full is good. Be positive. If your view will be positive, your life will be positive. With this positivity, right resolve. If you get any problems and issues in your life, you should resolve it in a right way. You should know how to resolve it. Look for the solution. It should be in a good character and conduct, that your actions should never harm anyone. You should be a good, you should always have a good conduct, good actions, a good behavior, and right mindfulness, that whatever you say or do should be considered by yourself first. Like, am I doing it right? Ask yourself, is it a right way to do it? Is it a good way? Should I do it or not? First of all, have some clarity in your brain. After this clarity, right, concentration is there, because whenever you do something, focus is very, very important. If you are not focused in your studies, you will lose marks in exam. Ultimately, right effort is needed, because if you are giving a lot of concentration and focus, but the effort is wrong, okay, you are reading a wrong book, you are reading a wrong, content, then it will be completely wrong thing for you. So effort should be right and in a right way. Okay, it should be very right. Then right livelihood. Whatever you earn should be in a moral and ethical way. And then whatever you say should be not hateful. Very right speech should be there. With this eightfold path, you can achieve what? You can achieve the end of desire. You will end the suffering will be removed, you will be completely 100% happy. Your suffering will end. Your suffering will end with this eightfold path. Okay, so this was said by Buddha. Now, Buddha, he neither accepted the God nor rejected the existence of God. Like in Jainism, they rejected the concept of God. In Jainism, what they said, that there is no creator. Okay, the world was existing by itself in this way since the beginning. It was always like this only. Fine, but according to Buddha, he never used to argue about these unnecessary details. Buddha said that why to think about these things when there is no answer? There is no absolute truth. You can't describe God. You can never give the answer. So why to go in this baseless debate? You have such a small, short life to live. You should live it happily. Why to think and debate about a topic which is baseless, which will never give you a absolute answer? There is no absolute explanation about the God or the Creator which we all can follow. So let's not talk about it. Okay, leave it. Second, he laid greater emphasis on the law of karma. He said, instead of thinking about life, birth, rebirth, you should think about your karma, because there is no other world or no other life which will give you judgments. You will get all your judgments in this life only. If you do bad, you will get results in this life only. If you are not hardworking, if you are not studying, you'll not crack the exam. Okay? If you are hardworking, you will crack the exam. You can change your life in this life itself. You don't need to get rebirth again and again. And you can always remove all your past mistakes or your bad karmas by a good conduct. So practice that. Even if you have done something wrong, even if it happened from you, then there is no problem. Don't be guilty, but try to improve it. So in this way, he said that law of karma is important. The condition of man in his life depends upon his own deeds. It is always in your hand. He taught that the soul does not exist. However, he emphasized on ahimsa. He did not make a direct attack on the caste system, but he was against any social distinction, and he threw open his order to all. He said that it is open for everyone. Therefore, Buddhism was more social and than a religious revolution, but it taught the code of practical ethics and laid down the principle of social equality. Now, in the telegram, you need to send me an answer of 250 words. Please start mains answer writing practice from today. 250 marks, sorry, 250 words. Please write the question. Question is, Buddhism was more a social than a religious revolution. Comment. Telegram, I hope you have joined. There you would send me the answer. I'll create a group and I'll check your answers personally and I'll talk to you if you will upload the answer. Okay? Write the answer, click the photo of your answer, send me a scanned copy on Telegram. If I like your answer, I will directly talk to you and we will help you in writing better answers. So try. Why Buddhism was more a social than a religious revolution, or how? Or do you agree or not? First of all, yes, it was. Why? Because it was trying to create a better society than a better religion. It used to talk about karma, it used to talk about ahimsa. That's why. The spread of Buddhism, basically, Buddha had two kinds of disciplines: monks, bhikshus, and lay worshippers, upasikas, who never left their houses but they just used to worship the Buddha's teachings. So, Sangha basically was the organization, it was organized by the monks for the purpose of spreading his teaching. The membership was open to all, male, female, without any caste restriction. Famous monks were Sariputra, Mogallanna, and Ananda. The progress happened with the Magadh, Kosal, Kausambi, and several other republican states of North India embracing this religion. Everybody started following the idea of Buddha. About 200 years after the death of Buddha, the famous Mauryan Emperor Ashoka embraced Buddhism and followed the idea of Buddhism, which changed his life. He, after the Kalinga War, Ashoka basically was completely moved in his head. His heart was crying because in the Kalinga War, he killed lakhs of the people. A lot of bloodshed was there, a lot of violence was there. He killed so many people that he was not able to control himself. He was not able to be happy in his heart. So ultimately, he decided to give up the royal throne and be a monk like Buddha. And that's why he embraced Buddhism. Now, transformation from a local religious sect into a world religion happened due to the Ashokan ideas. Basically, through the missionary effort of Ashoka, Buddhism spread it into the West Asia and Ceylon. Ceylon means Sri Lanka. So, the first Buddhist council, the first meeting was held at Rajgriha under the chairmanship of Mahakasappa immediately after the death of Buddha. Because after the death of Buddha, immediately it was important to write all the teachings, whatever Buddha used to say. So, its purpose was to maintain the purity of the teaching of Buddha. The second Buddhist council was convened at Vaishali around 383 BC. The third Buddhist council was held at Patliputra under the patronage of Ashoka, and Mogaliputta Tisa presided over it. The final version of three Pitakas, Sutta Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka, and Vinay Pitaka, these three Pitakas were completed in this council. Sutta Pitaka, Vinay Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. These three are known as three Pitakas together. These are the main textbooks related to the Buddhism. So can you tell me what is written in Sutta Pitaka, what is written in Vinay Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka? Who will tell me? Tell me in the comments. Sutta Pitaka, what is written in Sutta Pitaka? What is written in Abhidhamma Pitaka? And then what is written in Vinay Pitaka? Who can tell me? Let's see who will give me the right answer. The fourth Buddhist Council, it was convened in Kashmir by Kanishka under the chairmanship of Vasumitra. Ashwagosha participated in this council, and a new school of Buddhism called Mahayana Buddhism came into existence during this council only. Okay, so that's why the fourth Buddhist council is important, because fourth Buddhist council gave rise to the Mahayana Buddhism. So the old Buddhism was known as the Hinayan Buddhism, and the new Buddhism was known as Mahayana Buddhism. In Mahayana Buddhism, some new concepts came, like they started using Sanskrit language now, they started idol worship now, they also used to follow elaborated rituals, due to which the decline of Buddhism started in India, and ultimately the real sense of Buddha got lost in India, due to which now we see very less followers of Buddhism in India. But in other countries, it is still in its purest form, the way Ashoka spreaded it, and that's why it is still in a flourishing state. Clear? Why his own son is not considered as his disciple? He is considered. Who told you this, Rahi? He was considered as his disciples, but I have written the most popular and important disciples here. Okay? Those who really followed his teaching in the best way. Like, you all are my students, but not all of you are my best students. I will remember name of few in my life, right? So everybody was a disciple, but not everybody was important. Clear? Jatak stories are the stories written on the life of Buddha by the followers of Buddha. Okay. What is my question? Understand. Basically, Mahayana Buddhism, it got ended with the time, because ultimately the ideas and the concepts got very much related and similar to the Brahminical tradition. And there was a religious revolution in Hinduism also, with the rise of Bhakti movement, because in the Bhakti movement, the Brahminical tradition got less strict, and that's why it was now open for all. So that's why there was no need to be converted anymore, and people started following their root religion, the Brahminical tradition, as it is. Clear? Now, Buddhism. Basically, the Buddhism preached by Buddha and the propagation of Ashoka, which was done at that time, it is known as the Hinayan Buddhism. Three Pitakas, as I told you, Buddhist texts, they were collected and compiled some 500 years after the death of Buddha, Sutta, Vinaya and Abhidhamma Pitaka, and they are written in the Pali language. Now, if we talk about the causes for the decline, the revival of Buddhism is the main cause, and the rise of Bhagavatism led to the fall of popularity of Buddha. Use of Pali and the language of masses was given up by the Buddhism from the 1st century AD. So they started using Sanskrit like the other people. So the Buddhists began to adopt Sanskrit, the language of the elite. That's why the deterioration happened. The deterioration of moral standards also happened after the birth of Mahayana Buddhism. The practice of idol worship and making offerings and giving liberal donations increased in the Buddhism. Attacks of Hunas in the 5th and 6th centuries and the Turkish invaders in the 12th centuries also destroyed the monasteries. We will read about the attacks from the Central Asia and different invaders coming to the India. They also destroyed the Buddhist stupas. They also destroyed everything which was related to Buddha. All these factors contributed to the decline of Buddhism in India. Now, if we talk about the contribution of Buddhism in Indian culture, a big contribution is there in art and culture, especially the concept of ahimsa, which was followed by the Mahatma Gandhi, which became the value for the nation, comes from the Buddhism. Contribution to the art and culture is there. Stupas in the Sanchi, Bharut Stupa, Gaya Stupa, they are wonderful pieces of architecture. Now, if we talk about Buddhism, it takes the credit for chaityas and viharas in different part of India. Chaityas are the prayer halls, viharas were the residential halls where monks used to live. Now, it promoted education also through the residential universities like Takshila, Nalanda, Vikramshila. All these universities promoted a lot of education, and they were very secular also. Okay, it was not about teaching about Buddhism and Buddhism only. They also taught the philosophies, science, astrology, astronomy, mathematics, Ayurveda, everything. The language of Pali and the other local languages developed through the teachings of Buddhism, and it had also promoted the spread of Indian culture in other parts of the Asia, because when it got promoted in different parts of the world, the Indian culture also got spreaded. So with the spread of Buddhism, the spread of Indian culture also happened. Clear? It's not just the spread of Buddhism, it is the spread of Indian culture happening in different part of the world. I hope this is very clear to you. Yes, thank you so much, affectionate Cape. Now, we have completed all about Buddhism. Now understand how things got changed and developed. So in the beginning of 6th century BC, the northern India, it consisted of large number of independent kingdoms. Monarchies were there on the Gangetic plain, the republics in the foothills of Himalayas and in northwestern India. So some of the republics consisted of only one tribe like Sakyas, Lichavis, Mallas, and the Buddhist literature like Anguttara Nikaya, it gives a list of 16 great kingdoms known as 16 Mahajanpad. But the most important Mahajanpad was Magad. But other than Magad, we had Anga Mahajanpad, Kasi, Kosal, Vajji, Malla, Chedi, Vatsa, Kuru, Panchal, Matsya, Sursena, Asmaka, Avanti, Gandhar, Kamboj. And finally, in the mid 6th century BC, only four kingdoms survived: Vatsa, Avanti, Kosal, and Magad. And ultimately, Magad became the supreme of all, and Magad dynasty started rising. So in the next class, I will discuss Magad dynasty with you. I will discuss how Haryanka dynasty made Magad so important, Bimbisar, Ajatashatru, Udayin. Then we will discuss Shishunak dynasty and the Nanda dynasty. Okay, so I will discuss the Mahajanpads, their rise and their importance in the ancient India from tomorrow. All these 16 Mahajanpads will be covered for you. For now, as of now, I have completed the topic Buddhism and Jainism. I have finished everything related to the concept, and I am quite confident that you must be well aware of everything now. By this time, you are confident enough that you have covered Buddhism and Jainism very nicely, and you'll be able to answer many of the questions in the exam. And the question for the mains answer writing which I gave you is very important question. I want you to write. I want you to start the answer writing. Every day you should write at least one answer and send it to me. I will check it personally and will guide you to write a better answer, because it's all about your answer writing. How you will survive in exam, how will you get a rank, that is dependent on your answer writing only. Okay. So I'll end the session here, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for being such a lovely audience for me and all your support. I just want to say that in case you have any doubts, you can ask. I can stay here for a few more minutes. Those who have no doubts, they can leave the class, they can go. Those having any doubts, if you want to interact, if you want to ask anything, any question related to any subject, or if you want any help from my side, please let me know. If you are facing any preparation related problem, book list, or issue related to any other subject, you can ask. And other students who have no doubts, they can go, they can leave it here. And those having any doubts, they can stay and talk to me. Jitendra, you are saying, ma'am, I have joined Aarambh NCERT paid batch, but there is no live class. Jitendra, don't worry, the live classes are going to start. That Aarambh live paid batch which you have joined will be visible to you maybe by the day after tomorrow. Okay, most probably it will be visible to you very soon. But till then, you need to watch these classes, because I'll connect it from there only. Basically, those concepts which I'm teaching it here, it's like the demo lecture we are giving on YouTube. So people who want to join the paid batches of Aarambh classes, they can come to the class. But if they want a demo lecture, like how is the quality, how the lecture is going, how is the flow of teaching, if they want, they would be able to see it on YouTube. So we thought to publish few of the classes, 3 4 sessions in this channel, in this YouTube. Once we complete few of the topics, then we will resume it from the paid batch, where only the access will be given to the limited students who came in the paid batch. Okay, so everybody who is interested, they can, if you are interested, they please look at the link given in the description box. There is a form also, you can fill the form and join me in the paid classes. There I'll teach you the entire content of history, polity, geography. Everything will be covered by me only. So you don't need to worry that how the classes will be, how the teaching will be, because you have seen me on YouTube, and this is just a free class. Okay, so I can't deliver everything to you. I also have some limitations of time and energy. But the thing is, in the paid classes, we have unlimited time. We also have unlimited interactions. So you'll be connected to me entire day, whole day. We'll be talking and we'll be discussing the things. We will be planning out your systematic structure for the examination. So that will be more beneficial. So in case you want, you can join it through the link given in the description box, and you can call on the number which is given in the description box. Okay. Yes, it is very good. It is best to start with this batch as a beginner, and trust me, you will be able, you'll be able to save a lot of your time. It's like sharpening your blade. Okay, you're sharpening your blade. Right now, what you're doing is you are increasing your skills. So when you will read the standard books like Lakshmikant, Satish Chandra, R.S. Sharma, you will be able to understand it very quickly and easily, because your basics will be clear. Foundation will be very strong. Arambha batch is all about a foundation. Okay, next I can see a question by Melvin. Melvin Samuel, you have asked, ma'am, what's the difference between your old NCERT class and current Arambha NCERT class? The difference is the content is more updated. If you look at the classes, you can see the similar course or the similar batch. I have myself, I have taken it last year also. And I remember the quality of content improves every time in every new batch. The quality and the preciseness of the topic, the the idea of completing so many things in a limited time, that will be there. And also, if I talk about the study material, it is much more updated now. So it's a new version, and there are a lot of differences. Because of course, see, if you look at the classes, this topic, if you just search this topic with my name, you would be able to see more than hundreds of videos. Okay, because I have taken more than 80 or 90, 80, 82 batches I have taken for this NCERT series. So you will be shocked to know, in every batch the content quality improved. With every class, the things got improved. With every series, it is getting better. So it will be more updated to you, and now it is very very nicely updated. And we have no plan to bring it back again, because I need to teach other batches for the GS subjects and optional classes also. So maybe this is a good opportunity for you, that I also have time to teach you, and you'll be able to get the access of the live classes. So you must join if you want the updated content. Fine? Okay. Gaurav, you asked that, ma'am, Buddhism argued about the need to preserve cattle wealth. Yes, they argued about it because they were following the idea of ahimsa, no? They were following the idea of ahimsa. That's why. Okay. So I can see no more doubts are here today. I will end the session here. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you then. Take care. Bye bye.